Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to Tass Talk. My special guest today is Solobass, who is here in voice, not yet in camera. We're working on that in a second. I don't know about you, Solo, but I went to bed about 5 a.m. my time, woke up like a couple hours ago. This is the Barely Alive edition of me. How are you feeling today?
I am also in the Barely Alive edition of me because I probably went to bed about 5 o'clock, and then dogs are on a timer, man, and they were like, "Hey, it's 7:30. Let's go. Let's get this started."
Working on it. Yeah, my wife just came in there and she's like, "Why isn't Solo on screen?" I'm like, "Oh, we're working on it. We're working on it. We'll get there. We'll get there." By the way, yeah, if did you want to get on cam?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
All right. Yeah, I did at least wash my face before getting on today.
Yeah,
I'm proud of myself. Yeah. I'm proud of myself.
I adulted properly.
That's
before
right.
Coming on
Yay!
stream. Actually, since the Gambit podcast page is up, it looks like Gambit wasn't following your stream. So
sweet. That's an endorsement right there. I'll take it. Thank you so much. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we'll get Solo figured out here on screen. Again, we're just getting coffee and things situated. I might yet need to run away to refill mine. I don't know if you need to do the same, Solo.
No, I did it. I did.
Man, look at you being all prepared for the stream.
Yeah, right.
Good morning, Famulous. Good morning, Beast. Thanks so much for the raid. Thank you for sending all the good folks my way, man. How did GAC go? Tell me all about it.
Probably something you and I don't want to talk about tonight or today.
Listen, we have to face our shame.
We do.
That's right.
Oh.
This is the price of competition, the highs and the lows. All right.
At least we have TW starting, so we can talk about highs in that, hopefully.
Yeah. We had a sister guild for our last war, so both teams tried hard. Yeah.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, yeah. I mean, that's all you can really say.
Yeah. We my main account's in a dip week this round, so I just opened the board to take a look, and the poor TW officers that have to call out these zones of 8 teams per zone.
Oh yeah. We just started using that hot utils feature for the guild to like mass place just with the one command. Man, that is slick.
Oh, it is so much easier. My alt guild has been using that for a little while, and because I am in as a TW officer in the alt guild, and oh my god, the fact that you can avoid all derps on placing defenses is just amazing. The value. It's like, why did you put that? No more.
Absolutely. Famula says, I finally got out of my Barely Alive version this week. Last week was rough. I keep getting wrecked, making bad decisions in GAC. I hear you, man. This is the struggle. I'll confront my shame here. We'll get to it in a minute. I don't know. Is problem turning on your camera in Discord, man?
No, it's on in Discord.
Oh, it is? Why can't I see you? Oh. Okay. Not a professional, all right? Not a professional. All right. Step 1. We will do this. We got the frame in. We got Solo in.
Look at me.
Almost there. Almost there. No, wrong button. Come on. Where is it? There's the hide members. There he is. Big and beautiful. Got it done. All right. All right. So, all right, guys. I will confront my shame. All right, for those of you that tuned in to Gambit Fight Night last night, I was special guest fighting Consigliere of Caw Patrol, And this guy sets a 4 GL defense most of the time. Set 3 on me up front. No GLs in the back. Yeah, so decent teams, mind you. Not trash, but not GLs. Although the Relic 9 gas was something else, I will say that.
I kind of like that after that.
No, I definitely agree with the idea. It's just a matter of priority. I'll get to
I'm
it.
not there yet. Yeah.
I'm confident that I will get to it at some point. But anyways, guys, the bottom line here is that we both, amusingly enough, dropped on Mon Mothma, both of us using GG8. So that's fantastic. And then he cleaned it up with Jawas, just as we did. So, there it is. Otherwise, he had really high banner clears, guys, and it added up to being about 20 banners right on the nose. So he added up to being 1 drop more efficient. Now remember, he saved his Executor for attack, so he really wanted to make sure of himself against what he expected on defense, and he was right to expect that. Also, let's reveal the back wall here. Yeah, so this is what I ended up placing that I couldn't reveal last night.
Yeah.
So CLS is a pretty rare set for me. I usually keep him for offense. And, my opponent confirmed he wasn't expecting seeing both gas and CLS on defense from me. But he was prepared. He had the extra team. And also he had Starkiller, right? So he had the extra GL and Starkiller for offense. So he had quite a bit of power on his side. That was the risk I took, I thought he was likely to skew super heavy, and he went light, and he had all this extra material. So
Yep. That's what happened to me the first fight this week. I looked in this guy's history, and there were 3 times where he placed 5 GLs on defense in the last 2 weeks, and so I was like, oh crap, I'm going to go lighter, and I'm just going to beat him on efficiency. And then he placed 1 GL, and I was like, well, there goes that. All right.
Yeah. That is brutal. And really, what can you do? You can beat yourself up about it, because I'm sitting here thinking, man, what really could I have done differently? And the only thing I could have done was literally expect him to go light, and there was no reason I should do that.
Right.
Let me acknowledge some follows here real quick. Jedi BDS 1187. Thank you. Gambit, of course. Savitar 482. Okay, Hydrate from Savitar. All right, so here I'm going to use that as the excuse. So I'm actually going to quickly run and fill up the coffee after I finish these acknowledgments. But
okay.
Plasma 082-91972. Thank you for the follow. My God, that's a string. And then it was real. It was bad. It was real bad. Says not sure. And it was. It was. Waking up and seeing him doing his attacks. I woke up when he was most of the way through, and I was like, oh man, he had the drop on Mon Mothma. If he has just one drop on Fleet, and they didn't have any drop on Fleet. It's like, yeah, all right, well, that's it. Right up the creek we go. All right. You know what? I'm going to actually DM the wife and see if she's awesome enough to grab me coffee. That way I don't have to abandon you, my guest.
Hey, that table service is nice.
I hope she's so close to the office door. I know she's so close.
Yes, I can grab the coffee.
Yes! Yes! Everything according to plan. Ha-ha!
The life of a GAC wife is not easy.
Plasma. All right, first time in the chat. Yes, hello. Long live the Empire indeed. Yeah, man. I've got my little Star Wars shrine there behind me. I don't know if it shows up so well with the hat blocking the way, but that's the life. All right, so new season. Are you trying out anything new this week that is already cat out of the bag sort of thing?
Well, so I did it last night of EP Starkiller against Ray. I've all last season I had Starkiller on defense, and it drew a GL, so I think it was validly on defense. But I used it to beat Ray last night, and that was nice. That felt good. Idiot proof, as Northern Border says.
Yeah. Oh man, that was a good fight. I remember fighting Northern Border a month and a half or so ago. He's a clever player. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Not sure you like the positive look on that happening. Kind of impressed. Yeah, the loss. I mean, losses are never fun, man. But like, you have to be able to dissect what you could really do something about versus what you couldn't. And when you're scouting somebody and everything's adding up to, I like to set between heavy and super heavy defense. It's brilliant of him to go light, like considering that's the smart read from me. But that's all I could say. Like I can't sit there and say I should have thought that he would have gone light, because he could have easily stuck to his script and I would have been super punished.
Yep.
So yeah. All right, let me pull up my next set of questions. Where you at there, friend? All right, so we got Conquest coming up. I'm doing all that free to play now, and I've been able to max crate all of the last dude, Scion.
Yep.
Just doing it free to play. I found that there's guides out there that just make it so smooth. I wonder how you're doing with it. Did you have any struggles? Did you pick up any of the passes? What's up with that?
Yeah, so, because I have my 2 accounts. So on my main account, I pick up the $10 pass.
Okay,
Which I found, I mean, it's probably not needed, but you do get those extra rewards. Mainly, you get a couple extra Omicrons, and those things are valuable.
Yeah.
On my alt account, though, on this past one, I red crated without a pass or anything.
Yeah.
It was annoying. It took longer, but I also don't have Lord Vader on my alt account quite yet, so...
Ooh, yeah, that does make things more difficult.
Yeah, can't just walk in, do a force crush, and be like, oh, you all disappeared.
And that is super fun. I absolutely love using that. I like the look of the new cards. It kind of looks like an even more easily abused offense stacking thing. Have you looked at those?
I have, yeah.
That looks awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. Yes!
I do.
Reinforcement coffee. Thank you. All right. The blood of life. So anything in the last season from an opponent that really caught you off guard? Something you hadn't seen before, something you hadn't seen in a while, an unusual set of placements, an unusual draw that actually got you and you were, off guard in the back, something like that.
Yeah, not really. Last season, well, I guess I should go back to the first couple weeks because they were brutal. But there was a really important. Oh, you know what it is? I'll give Blade Baca the shout out of he has a relic base that people make fun of him for, and he puts it with BAM, and it completely messes up bounty hunters.
Yeah, I've had that mess me up before.
Yeah.
In a in a DR team, right?
Okay, yeah.
For the same reason. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was bad. I went in. It was first match of last season too, and I went in, and I even went in saying, "Guys, stupid chat. I'm going to blame chat on this one." I was like, Baze is there. I think he's going to mess this up, and they're like, "No, it'll be fine." and then I attacked his BAM, and there was Baze dispelling crit chance up every single time.
Jeez.
Son of... Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think the requirement to make that work is just very high tenacity, and I think a certain amount of speed. I forget what it is. There is a certain threshold that you're looking for.
Yeah.
I think it's like in the 240s. But it's just about having, closer up to 180% tenacity, 160, 180, something like that.
Yep. Yeah. But so that caught me off guard, and then he was the only one that did that. So I learned from my mistake and never got to the chance to prove that I learned from it.
What would you do if you were confronted with it again?
I would probably just use somebody else. I mean, Zamacron bounty hunters can be used basically anywhere, so you don't need to use them against a Beskar team. So I'd probably just use Jedi Knight Revan.
Yeah, that would do it.
Yeah. These BAM teams, back in the day when you had a Padme team, it's like, why would you set BAM? Padme destroys it. Yeah. And now you don't have a Padme team anymore, and it's like, oh, I have to actually think about this.
My opponent here told me about some of the teams that he used on attack here, and I was interested. He said he used Bad Batch on Jango. Now, we know that, unless, obviously, he had that slacker huge on the hotbot comparison, but not in-game.
Yeah.
So, obviously, the scout could have been flawed in that regard. Maybe he did have a crazy high, but it would still be like 370-something. It would have had to have been like Shock T Bad Batch to be faster than a 390 Queel. That's got to be my guess, man.
Yeah. That very well could be.
Yeah. But that's what he said he used. So, that's thinking on your feet. That makes me reconsider. Well, see, that's very rare that the opponent would know to do that. That's a pretty smart guy move.
Yeah.
I'll have to think about that in the future. The future of the Django BAM thing. The whole point of me pushing Queel up to 360 for this week was to be like, 390, freak out. Good luck.
Right.
Yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And the worst part is, now that he did that once, it's going to be in your history for the rest of the season.
That's right. My shame will be known to all. Bad Batch. Fortunately, they can't click and see what the speed of the Queel was, so the depth of my shame is still hidden.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he did everything else you'd kind of expect. He had Starkiller as excess, and he got to use it against the Dash, so against 381 Dash.
Starkiller will do that, huh? Yeah.
Yep. And he got to Geo's that Newt team. Yeah. See, man, could have gone heavier.
Yeah. Next time you face him, and then the next time you face him, he'll go super heavy, and you'll be, well, I'm clearing one zone.
Yeah. Yeah. You've got it exactly right. That's exactly how it's gonna go. Because I'm gonna have this ringing in my head that I had Aura Zam at the end of that to spare, right? That's awful, man, because what a heavyweight to actually not use. That means that instead of that really rough Qui-Gon fight, I didn't have to do that. I could have just Aura Zam that for, perfect banners. Wouldn't have made the difference here, because he had 20 banners on me. So, it wouldn't have made the difference between victory and defeat, but better banners nonetheless.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, well, that's life, guys. But yeah, thanks, Consigliere, for sharing the intel on your attacks and everything. Good sportsmanship. Appreciate you. So what's your favorite part of the game right now? There's a lot going for it. Want to hear what you've got to say.
Yeah, I favorite part. I enjoy GAC. In general, that's probably my favorite part of the game. But I think right now I'm kind of on a TW kick. I think, I think I disappoint Zareth every podcast because I'm like, apply more TW Omicrons because I enjoy it. I don't know. I feel like every round against the big guilds, at least, and you're probably seeing this too. The boards change so much. Like it's more of about now. How do you out strategize your opponent? And it's like, so you can't expect Lord Vader on defense every time anymore. You can't expect Rey. It's like question of which three teams are going to be down. Yeah. There's going to be 150 GLs down. It's legit strategy on which one is going to or which 3 are going to be there, and what are you going to get to clear?
Yeah, that's fair. So if you're adding more Omicrons in TW than your guild is, do you find that it's impactful that maybe you and only a handful of others might pick up the same extra TW Omicrons? Does it feel like a value add, or is it just super fun to have the option and have that flex and just be able to run it?
Yeah. Well, so I don't add more than the guild requires.
Okay. Good. That's good. That's
I think if you don't have at least 25, a TW Omicron is kind of pointless.
Yeah.
You need at least half the guild to have it.
All right, that's fair. Yeah, a sizable portion. Because I was going to say, like, if it was only going to be a handful, I imagine you would, be the clutch hero of the world,
right?
Like, in a cleanup situation, right? On something. But
yeah.
Otherwise, I don't know.
We have people in my alts guild, and my alt guild is, I think, last I checked, ranked 28th in overall GP. So it's still a 412 million GP guild.
Yeah.
And people all the time are like, man, my next Omicron, I'm thinking about applying Phasma. And every time I'm like, no, stop thinking about applying an Omicron that we're not going to use. They're like, but it'll help the guild. No, it won't, because we're never going to call that counter.
Yeah, it's true. It's
like they haven't even applied Mara Jade, and they're like, I think we're going to apply Phasma next.
Yeah, people ask that a lot. And when people come into the guild these days, that's one of the things they ask is, they see the Omicrons that we ask for, and Phasma's not among them, but they always ask about Phasma.
Right.
And it's like, you can choose it if you want, but I don't think we're ever going to require that anytime soon. Like, it's a nice option, but I don't know that it's good enough to justify over saying you having another GAC Omicron and being able to, secure that 900 crystals in the round.
Yeah.
So, yeah. By the way, what's the current size of your account, and what are your farms right now? What are you working on? Not only just, character grinds, but maybe modding projects. What's on your workbench?
So I'm actually happy. I just finished Jawas, and it makes me feel stupid saying that I'm happy about it, but there it is.
How you got it set up?
How? Or
like what relic level? Did you have a certain modding, fashion you went after for them? Or?
So I got them all R5.
Great choice. Yep.
Yeah. And so I just gave them all survivability, because I'm not giving them good mods, but I have plenty of those, plus 10s with a lot of survivability on it that it's not going to get used anywhere else, so there you go. Keep them alive. Stack those thermals.
Absolutely. All right, yeah, I dig that, man. I have been... they have saved my ass many times, like, against, of course, Mon Mothma, but... like a solo gas, just devours a solo gas. It's hilarious.
Yep. Yeah. Right. And that's so. I don't plan on ever counting on them to be a primary team, but just in that back pocket. Oh crap! How am I going to counter this or clean this up? Yeah. It's nice to have it.
Absolutely.
After this, I'm gonna just focus on relic levels. Slowly bring everybody up from like R5 to R6, and then not on Jawas, but on just general across the roster.
So no real special projects in the immediate future, just general bulk.
Yeah, because after doing the Jawas, I need to save up a bunch of that quote unquote core gear, because they were all gear 8 before this project started this month, and so I'm out of Carbantes, I'm out of stun cuffs, like my entire horde is gone.
Yep, it's a worthwhile price to pay.
Yeah, I think so, but now I need to bulk up again.
Yeah, it takes some time to build it back up, but I have like Yeah, I've got like 1,000 or 1,200 of all that stuff. So, like, unless I got the itch to take up a whole bunch of characters at the same time, I think I'm in great shape long term. First time chatter, Stoic Jester says, "How long has Anakin been evil? Since the 6th grade." Are you a dad too? That does seem like a dad joke.
That is a quality dad joke.
It's true. Oh, Famulous, I see you in the chat there. Yeah, you expect you're going to enjoy TW a lot more now that you got Dad Bob Boba to Gear 13 this morning. Congratulations, man. That's a good one. Super powerful in TW. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and just mentioned Embo, too. And Embo's looking good on that team.
Let me take a look at Embo. I looked at it, but I almost immediately forgot what that's going to be about. It's in-game, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's on the unique. Okay, holy crap, that's a lot. Alright, Bounty Hunter allies gain 40% max protection. New clause. At the end of Embo's turn, Bounty Hunter allies recover protection equal to 25% of Embo's max protection, doubled for Embo. So third clause, while Embo has protection, Bounty Hunter allies gain plus 30% defense and plus 5% turn meter. When a Bounty Hunter ally receives damage while debuffed. Oh my god, what a word salad. Okay.
But so I think Macias put out a video recently of this Embo Omicron with Dadbod just destroys raid teams.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, when I first read it, I was like, oh, but there's so much turn meter gain to, increase the mastery. But just because Fennec gives them the debuffs.
Yeah.
And so the AoEs and all the crap from raid teams just feeds so much turn meter, and Embo just facilitates Dadbot and Fennec just destroying people.
I believe it. That is incredible. So yeah, pretty much just for... It seems like a really good defensive team that you would make from this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty clever. Good calls, Famulous. I think that's going to be interesting as well. Let's see. Solo knows my feeling on TW. So this is Bodhi.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, enjoying TW or GAC. I mean, the only thing I don't care for about TW, especially when you're in like a really competitive guild, is the need to always keep moving in a 24-hour attack period. It really should be 36 hours.
Yeah.
Especially since a lot of competitive guilds are global, right? You'll have members from all over the world. So there'll be sections of the war where you're waiting some number of hours for this region or that region to wake up.
Yeah.
It's tough.
If you don't open up those second zones before the Europeans go to sleep, just get ready for an awful morning.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
That's how it's going to be.
Yeah.
Relic 7, no Zeta, Wampa, or 1 Zeta with no Omi. Alright, so, Stoic, you caught me. So, all my characters that are favorited here are projects for some purpose. They're here because I'm working on them for some reason or another. Wampa has the Cornered Beast Zeta, he just doesn't have the Omicron. And I'm thinking about it. He's here because basically I want to work up to the point where I have the opportunity to put the second Zeta on him. I don't want to put the Omicron until I have both Zetas. And I also don't want to put on the Omicron until I can afford to make him Relic 8. At that point, go ahead and put on the Omicron if I'm so inclined. But honestly, I'm seeing this more as like a 3 versus 3 powerhouse than a 5 versus 5, so my urgency for this is kind of low. What do you think?
I'm so on my main account. I don't know if I'm ever gonna do Wampa. I don't know. It all depends on how that first week with Wampa goes. Like I'm gonna watch Endall for every single Wampa match that he does in GAC because I don't know how high it can punch up. On my alt, my alt account might do it though, just because my alt account is not over 9 million or 9.1 million GP. My alt account is sitting at 8.1, and I still had a bunch of But I still have a bunch of like Gear 12s on that account because it's 8.1. I don't have every team farmed up. And so having Wampa be able to go in and solo something or 2 or 3 man something, that could provide a big change. Just my main account, I have the teams like that, so it's not going to be a priority on that account.
Yeah, I guess the other part of the equation is thinking about, before committing the Omicron, who really is this going to beat up on? Him solo, right? Like,
right.
Because, like, not going to be DR. It's not going to be something like if somebody put Bad Batch on defense, that's not going to work.
Right.
Like, there's, we could sit here and list off a whole bunch of teams for which it would not work, but, like, that's the other concern is, where in 5 versus 5 is that actually going to matter? And that's why I say now 3 versus 3, we're talking about a god.
Sure. Yep, absolutely. So I might just wait to apply the Omicron until 3 versus 3 announced, and then it's like the second they announce 3 versus 3.
Exactly. Click. Done.
Yeah, so I hear a lot of people talking about, like, oh, Wampa's going to take out Mon Mothma, and I have... God, I think the Gambit server hates me, but I have this extreme theory of why the hell would you apply an Omicron to take out Mon Mothma?
I'm with that. With that. In a world where you can literally Jawas something that people put that kind of investment into.
Right. So, and they're like, well, and it started off with the Iden, and they're like, I'm going to Omicron Iden because she's just built to take out Mon Mothma. And I was like, so you're going to give the most precious resource and then gear up at least 3 troopers that you didn't have geared to take out Mon Mothma. Just gear Barriss and Jawas. If it's a gear thing, and you're like, I'm gonna gear up a team for this, gear up Barriss and Jawas and get a 60, and don't waste an Omicron.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, Iden Omicron, I've had a lot of people push the benefits of it to me, and don't get me wrong, I see them, but like I get holds with that Gear 11 Iden that I was telling you about. Like, the team works just with the Zeta. It does go to another level with the Omicron. I grant that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think this season Iden Omicron is. I'm not doing it for the first week because I want in my GAC history for people to see that Iden is on defense.
Yeah.
But starting next week, it's going to start coming on offense, and think of all the teams that you wouldn't take against Iden Omicron to try and beat it. That's the teams it's killing on offense. So it can take gas. Like, you don't need that R9 gas. It wouldn't be able once Iden's at relics. Like, you get Iden to R8.
Okay.
And gas can't beat it because of all the assists. Or the counterattacks from 5s, because they're constantly healing people. They're constantly healing people with assist and counterattack and assist and counterattack.
Yeah.
And so they just can't kill anybody. So you sit down gas, you take out 5s, you take out Rex, and then gas stands up, heals you a bunch, and then you sit down gas, you take out Arc, and then you take out Echo, and it's like, oh, look at this. Here we go. I just took out gas. It's probably bad banners. I'm not saying it's going to be a 65, but if you could then put CLS on defense, or it's so, or people start R9ing their gas, and CLS is kind of like, hey guys, I'm going to sit down for this one. God, that Omicron is so good. Just people, I think. A lot of people just see it on defense, or just see Mon Mothma, and they kind of get lost by, oh god, this killed Mon Mothma for 65. It's great, and they don't realize how good this Omicron is going to be.
Right. Yeah. Wow, that's really interesting. Thinking about using that against gas, and that should be super high banner, right? Because you would finish with close to the end with that shield move and heal up and all that.
Yeah, if you're relic, I would not do that with a Gear 11.
Yeah.
If you're relic,
an aspiration.
I like to play the game of going on .gg and see how often something counters something,
Yeah.
and then it's like, oh, this has like a 50% win rate, the other way. That means if I'm actually controlling this on offense, this is like a 90% win rate.
Yeah.
Of course, one day GG is going to have to add the Omicron symbol into their counters or the gear level. That annoys the hell out of me. Like,
Agreed.
There's certain item comps that gas is 100% win rate, and you're like, I know there was no Omicron on that one. Because I've seen people lose.
That is the one data point that I wish I had when scouting. Looking at you, OmegaBot, I know you can do it. OmegaBot, offers such a great view of data, and there's only a couple things that it's missing, and that is one of them.
Yeah.
That is an outstanding idea. Man, I wish I felt like I had more freedom with Omicrons right now, because I actually have a patron who did the Akbar Omicron and did the Leia Omicron as well. So he's got the built-up Leia and Fulcrum. Mm-hmm. And if I check my DMs, I'll do it later. But like, he got a couple holds with it. It was, it's awesome to see that that's actually able to do something. And I won't be able to try that because after this challenge box that's going to come in the next day or so, I'll have one Omicron. But I need to bank that and one more because you can see here, I'm, working my way up through Talon and Mara Jade, and I want to be ready for Starkiller.
Yep. I have 0 Omicron saved right now. I think I have 11 of the salvage saved up, and you need to have it. I've learned, have at least one on standby now, because they're going to be releasing Omicrons to update characters like every other week, and you need to be ready.
I absolutely agree, and they're giving you no time, and I'm cool with all of the thoughtful updates to it, but just boom, new Omicron, and you can't participate because you're stuck doing something. It's just the way it is, man. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, but here's this pack for 7 Omicron salvage for $40. We'll gladly offer you this.
Is it even as much as 7? I thought it was less.
I thought in the data mine that there's a pack coming out of $40 for 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear you. So, a popular question, I don't think I've asked it the last couple of guests, but who do you want to see for the next 2 GLs? Like thematically, gameplay-wise, whatever your reason.
Definitely want to see a better Leia, because the game needs a good Leia in the game.
What's that Leia look like? You're talking like younger, like Jedi Leia, or are you talking like old lady, like force projecting people Leia?
I think it would probably have to be Endor Leia. Give us a Rebel GL. Or, because we have Hoth Leia, we have, the New Hope Leia. So I think just based on what's in the game, it has to be Endor. And, God, the Rebels with the GL. Can you imagine?
I think it would be incredible, and that would be so awesome to actually make it so that you get value from those lower tier characters. Have synergy with, the other farms that you've had to do with your Relic 3, like Rolo and stuff like that.
Right. And so for a Dark Side GL, I kind of don't have... Like, everybody says Jabba, and I can't picture them doing Jabba justice by bringing him onto the board.
Jabba would have to be something like Amon Mothma, because he would have to himself not be a combatant.
Right. But then how do you do Jabba's size? Because he would have to be the leader. And so I've heard people saying, like, oh, well, he'll just take up the left side slots. But then they'd have to completely recode the game to have a leader not be sitting as the leader. And
I don't think they'd be able to give his body scale that we're looking for.
Right, and I think that's just going to lead to disappointment. So I don't know if we're going to get that.
Well, but at the same time, you could see why they might consider it in the sense that all the crappy bounty hunters that you don't use, put that under a Jabba the Hutt lead and, make that thematically binding, and you actually might have something there.
Yeah, I mean, I could see them building a kit for him. I just can't see them building him.
I see that more as like a legendary character, like at least in terms of tier to me. Like I don't see him as a galactic legend. I do see him as like a legendary character, though.
That's been my argument as well. Of is he really galactic legend? Like he ran a crime syndicate. Like is that the same Palpatine?
Yeah.
Like that's Jabba's on the same level as Luke. Okay, I believe that.
So I love the idea of the Leia thing, but I guess we'd have to think about who would be her thematic partner on the dark side.
Right, and I don't know who would, who from that movie or that time era is a galactic legend.
That isn't already covered, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Here's your fifth Vader.
I can't imagine. So I guess that's the limitation there.
Right.
I don't know. It depends on what they do with this material, this gap between, when she starts to learn Jedi stuff from Luke and then all the way up to Old Lady Leia. There's so much they can do in there story-wise, so they could make a new nemesis for her, something like that. I guess that's the way they'd have to do it, because I think we're already tapped out of dark side dudes for that era, for that point in time.
Yeah, probably. And maybe they just don't make them a pair. I mean, now that they released the last couple one at a time, maybe they don't do a thematic pair. Maybe it's just, here's Leia, and then here's Plagius or something like that, where they just steal a dark side from a different era.
Yeah. That they're not bound to do it that way. I mean, when we were all sitting here anticipating Lord Vader, requirements, nobody was expecting that they were going to be as high as they were, because it never had been done before. And it's like, they can't do that. They're not going to put in relicates and stuff like that. It's like, guess what, brah?
It's also why I have 2 Relic 9s saved.
That is smart. I think at least one of those is going to be called upon for. I really don't think. I think that they've got I think that CG, credit given where credit's due. I think they've got a really good read on how their players want to use their resources. So I think if they're going to force you to do an R9, it's not going to be on a Garbo tier character.
Right. Hopefully. Hopefully. We do also have an R7 or an R8 Dooku in the game.
Yeah, but pound for pound, the cost of a R9 compared to an R8, although I have to say Rambam would absolutely love an R9 mace requirement.
I'm sure he would.
And we, I would be the first in line to actually have mace be made into a proper badass attacker. So I mean, if they introduce that requirement coinciding with the rework, I'm there for it.
Right. Yeah, God, I don't want a mace rework though. Release a new mace.
Okay, I'm down with that too. That's a great galactic legend.
Right. He would be a great galactic legend, or a legendary, or release a new badass mace. I am cool with that.
Yeah, it'd probably have to be a legendary, because again, the Galactic Republic era bad guys are kind of tapped out already.
Yeah. I don't want a rework of current bad mace, because they've already reworked him once and didn't make him good. I don't have faith that you can just add an ability and immediately he's amazing.
Yeah, no, I feel that. That makes sense to me. I would be down for a new and better mace. I think Legendary is unfortunately where they'd have to do it just out. Well, unless they want to break way with how they've done it before and do what you're saying. I guess they could make a Galactic Legend of him then. But I want to think that they're going to make them thematically bound because it makes sense for them when they're designing and adding the character. They're going to want to release one, then the next. They can have common art assets when they're doing the encounters. They can actually design the kits to have counters in between them and have that in mind from the beginning, as opposed to doing one and then an unrelated one later. Although I do have to say, I do like the current rock, paper, scissors thing we do have going on with GLs. Slacker Cheese versus Lord Vader notwithstanding. And I've heard tell that a buff is on the way here for Lord Vader.
I've heard little whispers, but I haven't heard anything,
Yeah, nothing official, but
that I would call concrete. But God, he needs it, right?
He does.
I mean, I am a Lord Vader defender. His kit is really good.
I like him too, yeah,
But the fact that there is no ability for him to ignore taunt when most of the other GLs have a way to get there. It might be get to their ultimate and then they can ignore taunt, which I think is fair. The fact that Lord Vader, because I took him against Starkiller once. I took a full 5-man Lord Vader against a Starkiller team. And I was stuck beating on Juhani for half of the fight. And Starkiller couldn't kill me. That. It was never an issue. I spent 2.5 minutes beating on a damage immune Juhani. And you're this is a GL that can't get around Juhani? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that is so bad. He's very limited, and the fact that if you're going to place him on defense, I mean, more people are using him on offense, not really to shake up their history so much as they just don't want to play something that you can easily non-GL a couple different ways.
Right, and that's my bigger problem with it. I don't care if you use the Slacker cheese because it's not great banners, and it's a GL and Watt or a GL. That's an even trade for me.
It's a decent price, yeah.
Right. The people that are just gonna destroy it with off meta counters, that's not a good trade for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I absolutely agree. He really needs the love, and I hope they do it for him soon. Let's catch up with the chat a little bit. Stoic Jester, you're thinking another GL. You're thinking Snoke. I'd be interested in seeing him come to the game. I don't think he's GL worthy. I think he's barely a footnote, really, to what Star Wars, what he is to Star Wars. He came, he was in charge of the First Order, but was he really? He was just, the figment of the Palpatine who somehow came back from the dead.
Right. JJ made Snoke not be a GL.
Yep, it's true. Yeah.
Because they very easily could have kept him super strong, right? He died in that throne room scene in The Last Jedi, but that doesn't mean that he's less powerful, because Palp died in a throne room scene. But then JJ was yeah, sorry, he was just a clone and my pawn. Damn it.
Yeah, trivialized him. Exactly. And those movies are just so bad, so disjointed. Films made by committee all end up this way, and why you would do that with Star Wars, where you need to where if you have just a unity of vision, the storytelling kind of comes together because the characters you're working with are already so well defined. Let them just do what they're gonna do, man. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. I did not. So I've had this fight with a lot of people.
Let's do it.
If you take The Last Jedi out of what it was actually a really good movie. But it comes immediately after The Force Awakens into The Last Jedi, and it's so disjointed from one to the other that it might be a well-made movie, and if you take like Star Wars expectations out of it and you just look at it as a movie, it was a very good movie, but it's not what people were looking for coming out of The Force Awakens. And it's because you go from JJ to Ryan, and then JJ comes back, and it's like, screw that Ryan guy, and makes an even worse movie.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to be able to fight you more about this one, but my thing is I actually like The Last Jedi the best out of the three of them.
I don't know if I liked it the best. I liked Force Awakens. Like, I'm not saying it's the best Star Wars movie.
Yeah,
I put all three of the new trilogy, and I'd put Solo and Rogue One ahead of it. But I liked it. Like, I've watched it 5 or 6 times because, on a Sunday afternoon you're bored and it's raining outside, and you put on Force Awakens, and it's like, okay, this isn't bad.
It's like what my old man would do with John Wayne. Like, he isn't watching it; he's just got it on in the background.
Right, exactly, and it's good enough for me. I mean, it wasn't inventive, it wasn't new.
Yeah,
but it was okay. It's like, oh, all right, it's on TV. I'll go watch it. Oh, it's fine.
My thing is when I was watching it, it was like, well, I guess it's not for me because it just feels like an imitation New Hope with like flashier bits to it.
Yes, that's it. That's exactly what it was.
Right. Well, that's the feeling I had watching it, and it's like, and by the time I got to the end of it, I could accept that it was an entertaining ride in itself, but that would also require me to accept this wasn't really aimed at me, was it?
Right. So, and I think what they, if they were to come out and just say, listen, we're trying to get a new generation into Star Wars. That's why we have BB-8. That's why we have Simon Pegg. That's why we have all these things. I'd be like, okay, I want something for me, but if you're getting an entire new generation into this, I'm fine. Yeah. But they don't come out and say that. They don't come out and say anything. I don't know. And it's JJ. I've never found that JJ Abrams could end anything.
Yeah.
He might come up with a good idea. He has never come up with a solid, good ending.
Famulous to Populi is like, I'm back. Fire alarm went off in my dorm again. I'm like, man, I appreciate your devotion to the stream, man. Right. It's like, all right, yep, back to Twitch. Well, gosh, I had a follow up for you. Well, yeah, so yeah, Force Awakens. Saying what I said there, like the last movie was definitely the weakest for me, but I liked the middle movie here. That was The Last Jedi, right?
Middle was Last Jedi. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. How do you feel they handled Luke? That's something that a lot of people have controversy on, and I'm interested in your take there, since we're already talking on it.
Luke has always been a whiny bitch.
Yeah.
That's my feeling on it. Mom, I wanted to go to Tashi Station. Biggs is there. Like, the series literally starts with him being a whiny brat. That's an idiot that sticks a lightsaber in his face. So I don't have a problem with how they did Luke. I liked the ending of him on Crate force projecting. I loved that scene.
You and I, sir, are going to have to fight outside where we're going to furiously agree with each other. Because, like, man, yeah, exactly right. Like, Luke has always been emotional, and the fact that a lot of people don't like how shook he got with Kylo, right? And how he ended up, overreacting and causing the situation. And it's like that is peak Luke, like, because you get, especially how you're seeing him get done now in Boba, right? He has that grace, that confidence, that poise. Like, he knows what he's about. He's confident. He's not overconfident, but he has a certain regard for himself. He thinks he's got something squared away, And then when he sees it, it's like, just completely lost control of his star pupil right under his nose.
Yeah.
Knowing what he's come from, what he could unleash on the galaxy, and all of that. Yeah, absolutely. Wig out. And how he died, I think, was absolute poetic justice.
Yes.
Him fading away into the twin suns like that.
Yeah, I think his death was amazing.
Yes.
Like, I have no problem with how they killed him. The whole lightsaber flip, like, I think people are most mad because of that lightsaber flip.
Yeah.
And that was purely a callback to Luke going to visit the crazy old hermit.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Rey going to Luke and Luke going to Yoda, exact same storyline. And everyone's like, yes. Yoda is the most badass Jedi that ever lived. He is so good. It's the exact same story. Like, the exact same story of Yoda, this little green Martian man, just, like, flipping stuff out of the X-Wing.
Yeah.
It's no different. It's no different.
Crazy, unpredictable old man.
Right. And, I mean, the only thing I didn't like about Luke was more of the story of R2 had the last piece of the map for him. Like, that's the only thing I thought was cheesy. Other than that, I didn't mind how they handled Luke.
This series, this trilogy is just rife with MacGuffins. So, I mean, what are you going to do? That's something you have to suspend your distaste for, I guess, if you're going to get through these. Like, the worst thing ever was Rey holding up the knife to the coastline, and it lined up perfectly, and I'm like,
that was stupid. That was quite dumb.
Dying inside. Halo implant swinging back at you here. So, is Yoda that good, though? Lost the whole Republic under his nose, lost to Sidious. That's true. I mean, you got to see him whoop ass in a lot of different forums, but in the end, he got overwhelmed by having pieces of the Senate literally thrown at him.
That's fair. That's stupid. George Lucas too.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you were in the Galactic Republic era, name a Jedi that you would rather have fight by your side.
Yeah, I would say maybe the only one better equipped would be Mace.
Yeah. So, I mean, and what was it? God, I don't want to talk about midichlorians because they're stupid. But isn't, statistically, isn't Yoda, like, one of the most powerful Jedi before the Skywalker clan entered the saga?
Yes, I do believe so. Yeah. So, we're actually 1 hour in here on the nose. Do you want to start digging in for tower defense?
Yeah, let's
take the plunge.
Watch Death and Destruction.
All right, guys. Okay, so I have got Solo interested in trying tower defenses on Starcraft. We did Squadron TD with Rambam last week. We could do a different one this week.
Sure.
But yeah, Rambam has gotten Wolf and a couple other guys from Battalion playing this now. I've got a whole bunch of SWGOH players playing games like this, and then Teamfight Tactics, like I told you, that auto chess game. It's fun building a little clan of people on my server for this sort of thing.
Hold on, I need. You know what I've realized I just have to do?
What's that?
Turn off the notifications in game from my Discord.
Oh,
because
yeah.
Blizzard has them set up, and I need to remember how to do that because I'm sitting here, have StarCraft open, and I just keep getting Discord notifications.
My wife in the chat, Defiant, has one for you. How long have you and Zareth been working together?
Oh, good lord. So what happened was I was the guild leader of a guild way back in the day, and I mean this is when the guild was 60 million GP. Like we're tiny little babies, so this had to be 4 years ago.
Okay.
His guild merged into ours, and probably about 6 months later, he joined as an officer for him and I to handle TW together. Mm-hmm. And so we took the guild, this crappy little guild, and we hit the top 30 of TW like 4 or 5 months in a row, and that's a big deal because our guild was not even in the top 100 for GP. We're like at 120 or something.
You said like 60 mil GP, like when the biggest guilds were like what?
They were probably like 100 at the time.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So, but so we were outside of the top 100. We were hitting top 30 in territory war every time. So like we're just on this great win streak, and it was the age of sandbaggers. We were just destroying sandbaggers. But it was also before Galactic Legends. It was, like Bosk and KRU were on defense. That was the age of those territory wars. And so it just led to us talking every day because we're officers and we had like a DM chat going on. And then we both started doing YouTube videos, not like production YouTube videos, not voiceovers or anything. Mm-hmm. It was just we would record fights and then send it to the guild. And then I think Zareth first started putting words on it because just because you can see a video doesn't mean you know how to do the counter.
Right, so, you might miss a nuance or something in the corner of the screen.
So he started putting words on it, kind of like Skelturks does now, here's the fight, but then has like little pop-up words.
Yep.
And then we decided to just continue our DM conversations into the podcast. And the YouTube videos, that's when GAC was born as GAC, not because it was GA for a while where you only had the 1 week matchups and all that stuff, and nobody ever lost. And so the YouTube videos kind of started there, and it's snowballed. Mm-hmm. So we've probably been together like 4.5 years now.
Well, that's awesome, man. I don't know that I ever heard the origin story before, so good call, wife. Good question there.
See, she brings you coffee and she asks the hard-hitting questions.
Man, I'll tell you what, she's here to carry the water. Let's get you added into the friends list. Do you know what your name is, and then the 4-digit after, or the numbers after the hashtag?
Is it like a Discord? The Discord numbers?
It's like the same format, but
let's see.
Yeah.
On my profile, so the profile is just Solobass. Where would I find the numbers?
Well, here, why don't you boot up the game? Boot up Starcraft.
I'm in the game.
Okay,
right
so
now.
If you're looking through OBS, you can see here I've got the friends.
I found the numbers. It's 2824.
Solobass 2824.
Yep. And I assume I'll get a notification shortly.
Hopefully.
That's the goal.
You should have had it already by now.
Oh.
You could try adding me instead.
Okay.
Just add.
I see it on screen. I just have to. Old man eyes. I have to get closer to the screen for this.
No worries.
Next. All right. Let's see if that works.
So what role do you hold in your current guild? Are you doing TW officer, or what are you up to?
Well, no. In Wolfpack, I'm just a soldier.
Okay.
I don't want to be more there because the high-end guild's just too much time if you're involved in TW or something.
Yeah.
On my alt guild, I'm a TW officer though. I'm in there with it's me, Wolf, Prime Force. And actually, Halo Implants in the room, too, and a couple others.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, big team.
All right, so now, what am I doing?
Well, what I'm doing here is I'm finding the game. So I found Element Tower. This I haven't played in a while. All right.
Okay.
So you've got like light, darkness, water, fire, nature, and earth, and like you choose a couple of these elements, 2 or 3 or whatever, to specialize in. And the deeper you tech into them, the more powerful tiers of tower that you can unlock and combine with other elements to make like super synergy towers, right? So some of them are going to be more about effects like slow or increased damage effects. Some of them are just straight damage, like single target, big hits. Some of them are splash damage. The only way to learn is just to play a bunch of it, so that's what makes it know, fun and repeatable.
All right.
So we'll auto join into that. All right, so it'll take a couple minutes for this to fill up. Oh, did you get prompted to join? Oh, excuse me. I should add you to the party.
Ah, yes. Okay, there we go.
All right.
Now
this time with feeling.
Accept.
There
we go.
All right. So now, we're already public. So now we just have to wait for the lobby to fill up. I'm going to hit the men's room real quick and top off my coffee. So I'm gonna put it up on drink break now, guys. So I'll be back here in just a couple minutes. Okay, we should be back on. Man, nobody really popping in so far.
Yeah. We had one person jump in and then jump out.
Yeah. We might be waiting a little while because this is so when you saw me scrolling down the games, they're sorted by popularity. So I actually had to sort a little bit to get down to this one. Let's say in the interest of time, we'll do Squadron TD. We can do that off stream sometime and play it because I don't want to have a whole bunch of dead air while we're
that's fine with me.
But Squadron's a good one. We can do Direct Strike though. This is the other one that I really wanted to introduce people to. So if I can show you the map, so here's the map. if you can see
Okay.
on my screen. So
Yep.
it's 3-on-3. That's how it'll be. You and I will be on a team with one random person. Each of
Yeah.
us picks a race to play. They're based, they're using units from the 3 traditional races of StarCraft, so Terran, Protoss, Zerg. And what you're doing
Sure.
is, this is kind of more like an auto chess, I guess. Less,
Okay.
maybe you don't. Maybe you'd prefer to play Squadron TD if you're really feeling more like tower defense. Because when I think about it, this is more like an auto chess. You're going to build in those squares that you see here on the board.
Yeah.
This is your zone to place your units, and then on a timer, those units will spawn out into the middle lane, and they will advance to meet at the center of the map.
Yeah.
So first, I mean, are you feeling more? Are you feeling more like a traditional tower defense? Because we can do Squadron TD, I guess, or we can do direct strike. You can flip a coin on it. I don't care which one you pick.
Let's do Squadron. Let's do Squadron.
Okay, here we go. So this one, you're picking themes. You're picking one race to play, and each of them have units, and those units will come to life and fight successive waves. Thank you. Wife brought me more coffee. Bye-bye, little one. Aw, she is sweet. Okay, so you're picking from. I know this little icon's really small here in the corner. Maybe you can see it for yourself better, but there's all these different races that you can play in Squadron TD.
Yeah.
And each of them build differently. So it's about how you're placing your dudes, and you'll have to read their abilities to understand who's like your tank, frontline guy, who are your damage, who are your support characters, your healer, so on and so forth.
All right.
The one that I prefer to play, and the one that you can pick anyone you want, but the only one that I play with any kind of like regularity is Shadow. I like Shadow because they're like the few and the proud. Like you don't make a ton of units with them. You make few super powerful units, and you have to just support them properly. All right, so we got people filling into this one real quick. But what do you want to see next done with the game? Something new, like a feature-wise. So what do you want to see them expand? Anything like that? What's the next arm that you want to see added?
I would love to see a different GAC board.
Ooh, okay. Not even that big of an ask. Not like a whole new mode. Just like a variety of GAC boards.
I'd love to see a five-zone GAC board where fleets are. It's not like ground fleet. Like it would be, maybe fleets first, or fleets like up top where you open the top zone and then you get to fleets and a ground zone, kind of like you do in TW when you open the second top zone.
Yeah, it's like a different strategic consideration when you have to lay out a different map. I like that.
Right, and because right now there's strategy, but there's not as much strategy. It's just flat out. All right, stop them from getting to the back. Nobody's going to stop you from getting to fleets, and there it is. But if you have 2 front zones that you have to get through and hold teams for the back, it's a completely different game. And so that's, not a huge ask, but I would love to see that.
I think that's, more realistic than I think a lot of answers would otherwise be. That's pretty fair too. I don't really think about it, but you're right. It is pretty boring that we all know what is the, quote unquote optimal tactic to use for the board, right?
Right.
So, yeah, I think that's a fair one. Oh man, looks like we're almost loaded up here. So, so we're about to load. Just so you know, you'll have 60 seconds. So we'll have 30 seconds where you choose your race, and then you have 60 seconds before the first wave spawns.
Sure.
You have to place at least one dude on your board. By the start of round 1, or you auto lose.
Okay.
So don't pull a ram bam. Don't pull a ram bam and get stuck reading. Don't pull a double ram bam because he actually did it twice in a row. I was like, okay, this is good. This is good.
Yeah. Uh,
All right, so here's where you pick your race. Here on the left side, you can click through them. Up at the top, you'll have a panel that shows what the units are. In the top, like on the very left side of that panel, will be kind of the attributes of the race, and then you can read up details on the individual units.
all right.
So for Shadow, my thing is Necromancy is the passive. The Dark Lord shall resurrect the fallen allies to continue fighting with 20% life and 40% of its attack speed. And then units with less than 100 maximum health will be revived with probability HP over 100, yada yada. It doesn't really matter. And then it doesn't revive summoned units. So basically, whatever dies can come back in a more limited form and still keep on fighting. It's not bad.
Yeah. All right, I picked. I'm gonna go something different with Elemental.
Okay. Yeah, Elemental's really fun. You build up like a chain lightning effect. All right, so you can always press the 1 key to select your builder. Your units are in the bottom right corner.
Okay.
So you click it, and then you can place it. Now, if you're looking at my screen, you see that I have a grid. If you want to turn on this grid to help you place stuff and keep it in order, you can do exclamation point, hit enter to open the chat prompt, exclamation point, grid, and I think that's it, just grid.
Okay.
Yeah. And it turns that on. So, all right, so this is the first thing, is placing your unit. Now, where are you positioned? Okay, you're just south of me. So, place one. So, your builder's like right here. You might as well place one somewhere along. You've got 10 seconds to do it, though. So, build a unit right now. At least,
build a unit.
Spend the unit. Spend the minerals that you can. In the top right corner, you have 2 currencies. I guess I should explain that. Minerals is the crystals. You use that to build and upgrade your dudes.
Sure.
All right. So you leaked a lot. It's not. We don't want to leak much on the first couple waves, because a lot of your income, your mineral income, which is what you use to build and upgrade units, comes from slaying your waves. So we don't want to leak a lot.
Sure.
That being said, you're going to spend all your minerals on building stuff this next round.
Yep.
The other use is, you see immediately to the right of your build lane, you have these buildings.
Yep.
The first building with the gas coming out of it is your war center. You upgrade here your economy. So I've already explained minerals. You use that. You use minerals to build and upgrade your units, and also upgrade your economy itself.
Gotcha.
You see how you spend it to upgrade the amount of gas coming in?
Yeah.
And then to the immediate right of that, you see that you can upgrade the speed at which those ticks come.
Yeah. How do I build buildings now?
Same way before. Hit 1 to select your builder. In the bottom right are your units. Try and find the tank unit. Try and build a cluster of them, a pattern close together. Something like that. Yeah, okay. It's good that you at least built stuff. This is better.
Yeah.
You'll at least survive the round. So yeah, you'll have to put your cursor over the units to read more about what they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, Elemental builds up like this chain lightning thing, and it's a real pain. Oh, do me a favor.
Yep.
To the immediate right of your gas building, there's a circular shaped building.
This one. Yep.
Yeah. The first unit there, the Zergling, right click it, and it's just going to auto spawn these Zerglings for you.
Gotcha. Okay.
What this does is this spends your gas. That's the second currency up in the top right.
Yep.
This literally creates the units here in this pit. If you're looking at my view, it's just to the right of this center lane.
Yep.
This pit shows what me and our allies are going to send at our enemies the next turn. So we're literally spawning these units to join the next wave on the enemy side, and they can do the same to us.
Okay.
So, yeah. What am I going to do here? I guess I'll upgrade here. So, alright. It looks like you've got some units, so you want to eventually start spending some of your minerals upgrading your economy now, because you don't want to get left behind on passive income. It's important that you always have a strong enough defense to clear your wave, but then you have a real incentive to pump money into upgrading your economy. Alright, so it looks like you're in good shape. You're going to clear here. Pay attention to how well you clear. Like, it looks like you might fail, or you might... Alright, so it looks like you failed, but you could have maybe just barely survived, you know?
Yeah.
In which case, it still looks like you still need to put down a couple, like, tougher things, right?
Right.
One or two tough things. So that's all I'm pointing out there. Now watch the pattern of how your leaked units move. See, they all congregate into this center lane.
Yep.
Not enough minerals.
And they're going to march down, fight the surviving unit, and that's my dude, who is a super upgraded, jacked up crazy guy. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just one-manning all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a monster. Anyway, if they were able to kill my dude, they would fight the mech. See that standing behind it? So that's like your king in chess here. If our mech dies, we lose the game as a team.
Okay. All right.
That's the objective, by the way, is to, out-survive our opponents who are fighting the same waves we are on the same timer. But the strategy, you're still learning, we're still talking about just the base mechanics here, but part of the strategy of the game is looking at all of the different sendable units, learning what their abilities are, because some of them have auras that you can use to stack with certain waves and punish, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, so you're keeping on building. All right. Yeah, whatever that one dude is, your Mudman or something, that's slowing down those guys, that seems to be a good call, but it looks like you're short on damage.
Yeah.
Less leaks than last time, though. Okay. So I'll just note that right now, my gas is, I'm up to like 5, and I upgraded the speed at least once. Just pointing out the economy. It's something you may not be able to afford right now, but that's something to think about.
Yeah, if I want to increase my damage, I probably can't.
Yeah.
Like, on my waves, yeah.
Yeah, and that's part of the balance you'll learn over playing a couple of rounds is you definitely want to be sure you can clear, but you can't afford to get so far behind on passive income, too, because as I get into the mid-game, I'm going to actually max out my economy well before most other players, and that's going to make me able to crush the enemy late game with the kind of sends I can throw at them, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're doing there. Mod sets. What do you find yourself short on aside from the typical speed sets these days?
Offense. Never enough offense. Yeah. Never enough offense.
Yeah, you think crit damage has had its day as a farming set for what you're actually farming up?
I think... Wow, I got ran over on that one, huh?
Yeah, this is actually a tougher wave, so it happens.
Yeah. So my I don't think crit damage is done. I think offense, there's so much crit avoidance out there though.
Yeah.
That I think offense is kind of the way to go.
Well, I largely agree with that, but where do you think there's going to be a place for, crit damage to enter back into the fray? Because isn't it kind of universal that whoever you're putting in offense, well, very few exceptions, but like, isn't offense generally better on most people nowadays?
Generally,
even with the crit damage mastery and all that.
But like, say like you look at Caw and Caw Patrol, and their Jedi Lukes are all crit damage sets.
Yeah, if you guys like custom maps on Starcraft 2, man, this is all free to play, but this is just Squadron TD, so, okay, yeah, so this is what I'm talking about, and this, you won't have this problem in a game or two, but this is a natural outcome in the first couple of games. Right now, you've had so many leaks that you lack the income to really stabilize, right?
Yeah.
So now it's going to be kind of up to your allies just to, to carry. Which is okay. I think well equipped for that. Yeah, we're actually ahead of schedule. So let me think about that. 1, 2. We'll keep.
Right. I can only put weak units down right now. I can't build anyone.
Yeah. Well, you should look at some of the units that you've placed and think about who to upgrade, because you'll probably gain more from upgrading your existing units than placing lots of like low level units.
Sure.
Anyway, so yeah, at the gap, you'll see that you're going to hit a supply cap at some point.
Yep.
And you'll increase the supply cap from the gas building. So you have the first box, which is increase the amount. Second box, increase rate. Third box, upgrade supply.
Gotcha. Oh, yeah. Yep.
That's the one. Yeah, so the good news is me intercepting all your leaks has given me like an incredible amount of income. So that means, man, I am going to be prepared. So you see just above your mini-map in the bottom left corner, you see the number 7. You can put your cursor over that to see the details of the next wave to come. Gotcha. So we're on wave 7, anticipating wave 8.
Yeah.
Oh, we might lose. Oh, yeah. We had too much flood. Damn.
Yeah.
All right. So that's okay. I mean, but that's what happens when you leak so much. And you know, the enemy could have had that same thing happen to him. It happens all the time.
Right.
All right. So anyway, just a couple brief things here. If you're looking at my screen, so yeah, you upgrade your gas and your supply from this building. These 2 buildings that I made here, these are just cosmetic goofball buildings. Pretend they don't exist.
Okay.
All right. They literally do nothing. They're just goofball, funsy little buildings, cosmetic that you unlock just by playing.
Yeah.
These 3 buildings matter. These are where your sends are. It goes from cheapest, medium price, highest price here.
Gotcha.
Okay. So what you're doing is, I just want to highlight, when we right-click this, we're telling it to auto-spawn. And what it is it converts 20 gas to 1 income, right?
Okay.
It has the trait economic, which means that it's the ideal ratio of gas spent for permanent increase to your mineral income. And you see that your passive income's in the here. Let me point at the camera correctly. It's in the top left corner there. You see it says like plus 23. That's your base income. Plus 94 is what I have through my increases. What I have added through sending units. Right.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at these other units, though, they'll have different attributes. Like this one doesn't say economic. It costs double what the first one is, but it also is a ranged unit with, like, piercing damage. So it has an attribute that makes it a more effective fighter than this little one-cost crap dude, right?
Yep.
And these others have different attributes as well. And that's what I'm saying, that's where strategy comes in. Like, the level we just fought, you can make it so hard. Like, we just lost to getting our mech flooded by those units. He could have. Our opponents could have sent a unit like this one, the Goliath, costs 120 gas. It only gives you plus 2 income increase. Think about that. Like, for 20 gas, you could send 6 Zerglings and have plus 6 income. So you're forsaking plus 4 permanent income. For what purpose? This thing has an 8% damage aura.
All right.
So send it on like a mass, like a big flooding unit. Like, you learn this by playing, but like level 8 is a really tough wave. Lots of piercing damage. You throw in a Goliath in there against your opponents, they can really struggle against stuff like that.
Right.
So that's so you can see that there are essentially 3 areas of this game to manage: your own placements and making sure that you can clear the waves that come at you; your economy, making sure that you get the most passive income that you can per turn, and then what you will send at your opponents, because you see at the top middle of the screen we have a gas cap, right?
Yep.
You can exceed that gas cap, but then your gas rate you'll see like an amount lost each tick. That's a penalty for going over the max cap. But you could bank up, like let's say you wait for wave 6 to launch, and then you start saving gas, and then on at the end of wave 7, so while you're waiting for wave 8 to start, you could start mass sending stuff with all this gas that you've accrued, and try and flood your opponent like that. So that's where I think most of the strategic depth in this game is thinking about how and when to work with your teammates to time sending units together.
Gotcha. Okay, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts in this game, and you know each race will have its waves that it's stronger and weaker against. For me, Shadow player, wave 8, wave 12, these are really tough for me. By the way, boss wave on every 10.
Okay.
So 10, 20, 30, we have boss waves. And then if we survive after 30, they send increasing, like, absolute madness waves at us.
Gotcha.
That's like super extra overboss level waves. Chat, you guys got any questions for our special guest solo? Feel free to throw them up and we'll get them up on in here. Let me check my reference list of good questions. Yeah, this is always a popular one for guests. If you could delete any one character out of the game, who would it be and why?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, people like that one.
Houndstooth. I don't think I need to say a why. Just Houndstooth.
I can dig that. I can dig that.
Yeah. What's funny is on offense, I don't even use Houndstooth like in Arena because I run the triple attacker team.
Oh wow! Yeah. Okay.
So he's really just a pain in the ass that my opponents put down. So let him go. Just let him fly off.
Yeah. What do you think of these new ships?
I'm really excited about both the Echelon and the TIE Interceptor. I think both are going to be really fun. The Holdo ship, maybe she'll be better when she's not at 6-star. Like I was able to get dear old Rose Tico's ship to 6-star, and I was not impressed with her at 6.
I see. Yeah. I mean, we saw Zareth last night. He had the 7-star, and I liked the performance of that. I like we were talking about last night. I think there is a case to be made for an Executor one-shot out of that. But I think that's what a lot of people are saying the Echelon's going to allow for, right?
That's what it looks like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's super exciting.
Yes.
Can you imagine, like, living in a world where you wouldn't be laughed out of the room for setting a finalizer on defense?
Yeah, that's fair. Well, so here's the question. If Echelon at 7 stars really does, beat Executor sort of consistently, even if it's like 70% consistently.
Yeah.
And all the opponents in the top 100 are going to have a 7-star Echelon, or at least most of them will. Are we setting Executor on defense anymore?
Exactly, yeah. I mean, that would be great to shake it up because it's kind of been an auto set on defense since it came out, right? So
I want to see Echelon, how it beats the other fleets. And what becomes a good defense fleet anymore.
Yeah.
Because TIE Interceptor is going to mess up the TIE Bomber on Negotiator.
Mm-hmm. And you know that with the introduction of the Ravager soon enough, I said this probably a little closer to a year ago now, and I think it's coming in just a matter of months. We're going to have 3 fleets in the fleet zone for GAC.
They have to.
Yeah.
They have to.
So it's coming, and I love the shakeup that's going to force because I think the only fleet that kind of remains perma on offense is going to be Rebels. I just don't know that there's a good way to make Rebels a viable defense fleet.
Well, but so if everyone starts using First Order to take out Executor, what are they going to kill Rebels with? For High Banner.
I mean, I'm. There's probably still a couple ways to skin that cat, but
I'm not saying it's not going to be like Executor level, but if you have 3 fleets on defense,
I mean, maybe. I mean, my inclination is just thinking that we dumpster it. I mean, I would rather set like a Malevolence than I would that. But you might be right. It's difficult to imagine because we don't have that extra fleet yet. We don't know what Ravager is going to be really good for or good against. It's tough to say. And that's what I'm picturing Interceptor being used for. I know you said you're excited about Interceptor and Echelon. You have any ideas in mind for what you're thinking about with Interceptor?
Well, Interceptor it's going to go on an Empire fleet and just destroy Negotiators.
You're thinking Chimera?
Ask me on different days and I'll give you different answers.
Okay. So again, if you're looking at my screen, what I do is I identified, like, for my race, this guy is like a damage dealer, but his thing is that he's a melee unit that dodges, and when he dodges, he counterattacks. So he's okay for me to place, but like try to spend your money on more expensive things. Like find your tank dude, then build a few damage dudes behind him. I think that's how you play Elemental, because I think your passive is when you get like 15, when your units do 15 attacks on the same target or something like that, it creates like a big arc lightning that runs through all the enemies. So that would require, a durable front line and then just lots and lots of dudes.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, yeah.
All right, and don't forget to go right-click on your Zergling so that you can start your income. Because you get the income increase from that at the start of the next wave. Sorry.
Where's the Zergling one? Is that...
That's your circle building, first unit in there. Right-clicking.
Got it.
Yep, and that'll start that on auto. Yeah. So, as your gas capacity, it increases every wave.
Yeah.
Later on, you can decide that, okay, I still want to send an economic type unit just to maintain that ideal passive income increase. But I don't want to send Zerglings, because eventually you'll be making so much gas that you'll overtake that and overtake your cap, right?
Sure.
You'll outstrip that. So you can look at some of the other sends, like immediately below it is a Mutalisk, costs 100 gas. It has the economic trait, so it's 5 income for 100 gas. You could send that later on. So it is with the other buildings. If you look at the higher tier units, there's economic ones in there too. I intend to do some sends for level 10. I'm going to try and make a difficult situation for our opponents on the boss level. That's kind of my plan. Alright, so good situation for me. There's a unit, if you look to the right of the Zergling, like 3 to the right of him is, 4 to the right is the Titan Strider. This guy, people save up and sometimes send it to you early game because he has a low base damage, but his damage doubles every attack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he gets extreme damage against a single target.
Yeah.
And it's really punishing to Shadow because I only have the one guy.
Right. Look at this, no leaks in my first 2 waves.
Awesome.
Doing
awesome
things.
Job. Awesome job. Keep it going. Keep looking at your dudes and thinking about how to build the theme. So you've got those guys. What about those protons? I think the protons, the base guy, you could build even behind those and upgrade 1 or 2.
Okay.
Something like that. Let me upgrade my dude. Okay. Now I've got my elite dodge on. Yeah, this guy is amazing. So he is like 10 times better than the original dude. And he will one man the next 2-3 waves by himself if I let him.
Yeah. All right. So how do I upgrade? Is that
you just click the units and then in the bottom right corner, you'll see what its upgrade is. Each unit has only 1 upgrade, so it's not like you upgrade them twice.
Okay.
All right. So it looks like it looks like this one you're gonna suffer. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, you could upgrade a couple of those protons, though, and you'd be in the clear, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Not enough minerals.
Halo, you're thinking, like, hopefully you have better rebels than your rebels if you're encountering them on defense and you don't have, like, Finalizer available. Yeah, I would guess so. It's really difficult to think about how Ravager's going to affect things. You would expect that it would be designed to take on Executor and Negotiator, right? At least Negotiator, if not Executor. So,
all right. Let's see.
All right. So in my case, by this time, I've upgraded the gas amount option in the gas building. I've done that 3 times, and then I'm upgrading the speed once. So that's just kind of letting you know where I'm at economy-wise.
Sure.
All right. Have you tried to upgrade your protons? Any one of them?
Now I need to figure out how.
Because you just click the proton, and then in the bottom right corner, it should show the option to upgrade its form.
Okay. Yeah.
So it is with the rest of your dudes. You're going to want to upgrade those to tier 2. It's always better to upgrade fewer towers than it is to make incredible numbers of lower tier towers. Oh jeez, come on, don't kill me, bros. Oh, I had a leak. That sucks.
I'm due to.
Alright, well, our opponents, or our allies will hopefully save us. You can see in the bottom area, we got a decent number of allies in the pit.
Yeah.
You wonder how we get that thing, another event with a bunch of relics. You're talking Ravager Halo implant. I'm guessing it'll be something of the kind. There's so many different ways they could release it, but I imagine there's going to be some strings attached. Relic 8 Nihilus, anyone?
Oh.
It would feel dirty. And it would also kind of maybe force you to put the leadership Zeta on Nihilus, which is extra gross.
Right.
Okay, so now I shouldn't leak for the next little bit. All right, good. You've got those guys upgraded. You might. I think so. The Mudman, his slow aura is what makes him so valuable. I think you want to have like a Mudman and an upgraded form of a Mudman working side by side.
Okay. All right. So we'll work on that next.
Yeah, it's been so long since I played that race, but I think that's how it's done.
Oh.
And if you played it, you get a feel for it yourself, like just playing multiple games of it. That's why when I'm, telling somebody how to play this game, just pick one race and play your first few games with it, at least to help you let that be like a stable point while you're learning the other mechanics.
Sure.
Because each race plays a little differently,
So, have him upgraded.
Okay, so you have the Golem. So if you can make a Mudman right next to him, I think that would be... Yep. I think that would be all the tanking that you would need for quite some time, and you could focus a lot on your damage dudes and try to combine effects with other dudes.
Yeah.
I might play your race next game just so I, can try to remember and give you better pointers.
Well, the little upgraded protons did some work last wave. Tell you that.
I'm sure of that. Yeah, that chain lightning that they do is pretty ridiculous. Yeah. Wow, that is strong. All right, so you see that you survived with a little bit to spare. It's definitely wise to keep upgrading something and then keep pumping more into your economy. Now you can see I'm situated just above you on the mini-map in the bottom left corner. You can always look over like my gas building and stuff to see like where I'm at upgrade-wise and try and generally keep pace with that.
Okay.
As you can. Always be sure that you can clear ways. That's definitely a hard and fast rule.
Right.
Okay. So when the next wave spawns, I'm actually going to shut off the auto spawn of Zerglings and I'm going to start banking gas because I'm going to flood this guy with stuff.
Gotcha.
At wave 10. You don't have to do that. I'm just telling you.
Okay.
This is wave 7. Jeez. Yeah, I need a bunch of money. Ooh, I can't do this.
Ooh, I had a leak.
Yeah? Yeah, it's a little bit. Yep. Different races struggle with different waves. I think Celestial does struggle with this one because of the armor type of those guys.
Yeah.
It happens. Okay, good. Just barely. I get to upgrade this dude in time. So Interceptor, I feel like the best value is going to be like a Chimera fleet with a TIE Fighter up front. I think it's going to rob TIE Fighter from Malevolence, so that's going to be something that's going to happen because you're going to want to lean into that. Keep accelerating the turns of the capital ship, and the value for that is going to be Chimera over Tarkin.
Yeah. I generally agree with that. I just...
Yep.
We'll see. How many times have we theory crafted something before something was released, and then we're like, that's not what we do at all.
Right, because that's what I'm thinking. Like, maybe we'll use him in this way with the Empire fleet, but I think it's pretty clear that this is going to end up being with the Ravager somehow, even though it doesn't really thematically go so well, like Empire and Sith Empire, but, whatever. All right, we're on wave 9, so next wave is boss wave, just heads up.
Yep.
All right, I got to build more lifesteal dudes. Come forth. Alright. So how it works is, in like 10 seconds, Wave 9 launches, and then you could start spawning the sends that will spawn at the start of Wave 10.
Gotcha.
So if you were ever banking gas like me, that would be the point to unleash. And that's what I'm going to do. Now I'm actually going to send literally mass Zerglings. By providing so many targets, it'll hopefully divide their units, focus, and allow the boss units, which are very few. This is a much smaller wave of units. It's going to be like 3 boss guys, and they're huge, super powerful. But I think we're going to be okay. All right, we got Elite Dodger here. Okay, I think we'll be all right. By the way, so your Zergling costs 20 gas, right? And that supply increase building costs 30 gas. So you actually have to shut off the auto spawn on the Zerglings for a minute to accrue enough gas to buy your supply. Then you can turn it back on. Okay. Yeah. Halo Implant, you say you could see slotting it in the middle of the meta, so maybe not as expensive as Executor. Yeah, Ravager, I mean... It depends on what they mean it to be. If they mean it to be something reliable against Executor, it should be, you know, similar requirements, similar difficulty to acquire. Otherwise, I think it would feel like a slap in the face to the people who went in on Executor. All right, so we survived Wave 10. Did you have any leak?
No.
Dude, that is really good. To not have any leaks. On the boss wave on your second game, really nicely done.
How do you build buildings?
You don't need to build buildings. Okay. You don't do that in this game.
Gotcha.
Well, what is the function that you're trying to get to?
Well, because I was just looking, and if I want to do more upgrades, I need to build. It says build supply depot.
Right, that supply depot is just that thing in the gas building I was telling you about with raising the supply cap. You're just clicking it and it'll build out of that building. You're not actually physically building one.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
Additional supply depots.
Oh crap! See, speaking of which, I've got to do that. So right at this point, I have like a gas cap of 345. You see, I'm going to the second building. Yeah. And this bottom unit in the second building, if you happen to be noticing, is the power mortal. This I'm going to put on auto spawn. It costs 300 gas, but it's also economic.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of the game plan here. All right, we got to upgrade you and you and you. Okay. In general, you want like your income rate to be a couple higher than the level it is. So right now I'm going up to like 14 income per tick and it's level 12. So you want to be like 14, 15. That would be kind of like a general good mark to be at. You don't have to be there, but it helps. Yeah. And obviously, you know, I'm kind of talking out of my ass here because I have up the upgrades going just fine for the economy, but I just leaked a few. This is actually a tougher wave for Shadow, so I sometimes leak here. But you were doing just fine, so your upgrades are doing well.
Yeah. My defense force is actually doing its job.
Good stuff. So yeah, you'll learn just by playing the game which waves are really difficult. Like 14 could be a difficult one. A lot of people like to, if you look in the circle building, the unit on the third row, second from last, is the mothership. Yeah. People like to stack up and send motherships on wave 14 because they buff their allies, and it just it makes for a real challenge. There's all different ways to try and end the game. Like, I often try to end the game at level 8 when I'm coordinating with allies, because you can stack a whole bunch of aura units and just overwhelm them so early in the game. People get tilted off that.
Ooh, this wave kicked my ass.
Yep, this one might be a weaker one for you. Shadow dumpsters this one. Yeah, that's a bummer. Hey Sasha, good to see you, man. We're playing a tower defense game on Starcraft 2, so you know how it is here on Tass Talk. I like to get the guests and I playing something that isn't SWGOH just for variety. So right now it's a tower defense style game. We're placing units here that will face waves, successively more difficult waves of enemies coming at them. And yeah, Solo and I are on a team with 2 other dudes against 4 people. And it's a competitive game. So you're playing against the waves sent by the AI, but also against the optional units sent along by our enemies. Super fun stuff. Solo's actually doing pretty well. Let's see how his defense does here. Looks like we're getting a bit overwhelmed on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one might be a tougher one for you. I don't know. All right, my Shadow Boys handled business. They survived. I guess I want to keep building, but I'm also feeling really greedy. Because the faster you can ramp up your economy, the more you can just place on your board and then focus on just dumping tons of units on your enemy.
Right.
By the way, like 2 hours ago, Awaken777 followed me. Sorry, dude, I didn't notice it. I missed the chime. I'm terrible. Please forgive me. All right, we'll place another gate guard here. So yeah, it's just about striking the balance, and that's that. I love games like this where you have all these moving parts.
Yeah.
And after this one, if you want to play another round of this, we can, or we can play a different game, or we can look to wrap up because it's almost 3 p.m. So I know you have some other stuff in your afternoon coming up.
Yeah, aka the wife is coming home.
Boom. Boom.
That's. She's an accountant, so it's nice because I get my weekends. Ooh.
Dig it.
All right. I get my weekends to do whatever I want, but then when she gets home, you know, it's.
She owns your time. Yeah, she's not waiting for you for some phone game.
No, she is not.
I hear that. I hear that. My wife's very tolerant, and I appreciate you out there, Mrs. Tassinix.
Yeah, and mine is very.
I imagine
like,
so.
She's very good about it. It's just her, you know, and she, probably rightfully so. She basically says you got to do whatever you want until 4 o'clock on a Saturday, like.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
There's give and take. Yep, I absolutely appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I might as well upgrade economy since I don't have enough to put down another unit here. Yeah, this is going pretty well. I mean, so I'm going to start upgrading our mech soon. That's another thing. If you notice in your gas building, in the bottom left corner, there's called Install Infusions. This is where you go to upgrade your mech.
Gotcha.
And he'll be able to resist the boss wave at 20 if he's sufficiently well built up, which is something I should be trying to do because I have a crazy crap ton of money. I'll start doing that now, actually. All right, look! In the bottom left corner, you can see the mini map. The mini map's split in half, right? Our team has the left half, their team has the right. You can actually click on their side and see their common lane, all the stuff that leaked. They leaked a ton.
Oh yeah, they did.
It is possible that the game ends right here. It depends on how all this does. I mean, I don't know. This is pretty good performance by these units. Come on, get overwhelmed just by the sheer number of them. Come on, come on. Holy crap, man. Look at this. I'll be damned. They're going to survive. Okay. Well,
yeah.
There you go. Good, strong allies. Okay. Let's have that done. Let's have this done. This is good. I guess a third gate guard is a good idea. Yeah, we're only a few away now, so I've got to try and think about what are the most important ones to upgrade.
Yeah.
Because there's definitely a right order to do these infusions. So I did if you look at the infusions, I took care of the one in the top right first. that, like, you can read them all. Like, you get an upgrade for each tier of them. You can see that there's 6 levels of upgrade for each infusion.
Yeah.
You get an upgrade benefit for each one, but when you max it out, you get that completion bonus it tells you about. So, anyway, sap cannons. Wolf raiding with a party 18. Hey, Ram Bam, how you doing, man? Hey, we're doing Squadron TD. This was what Solo and I settled on. We could have done any number of different TDs, but Element TD, it was taking a while to fill up the lobby, and this one filled up quick, so Solo agreed to do this one. Yeah, we can pick you up, but honestly, I think so. I'm ready to play more. I can do more with you, but Solo's probably going to have to take off after this, but if you guys want to get at me on Discord, we definitely can play more Squadron TD. Get your Starcraft 2 up to date. Let me get this done. Oh, jeez, this isn't good.
Additional supply depots required.
I should be maxing my economy if that's what I'm doing. Alright, we have to finish up these upgrades. I can't lose focus here, guys. I gotta finish upgrading our mech, because we're getting close to level 20. And you see that the game actually lags when you get so many units on the board. Okay, wow. Alright, so my income is literally maxed now.
That doesn't suck.
Yeah. Maxed amount, maxed rate, and so I can flood the board now. I'm taking over, finishing upgrading the mech myself. I will handle this guy, but he's almost already strong enough to fight the boss wave himself. I need to finish this one and the extreme healing one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna get this handled. Okay, so what else do I need to place? I need to do more Lord of Death. Another one of these. Upgrade. Nope. Upgrade. And then put down another mage. Okay. We're almost there. Almost ready.
Not enough minerals.
Okay, yeah, extreme healing. Let's go. So I'm not getting to prepare a whole bunch of sends to flood them on the level 20 boss, because I'm spending all my gas upgrading the mech. So that's the trade-off here. Jeez, am I getting overwhelmed here? Come on, boys, I believe in you. Oh, I'll be damned. All right, so they did flood me. Okay, that's there's your sign. I need to build more stuff here for the boss wave. Elusive barrier. Let's do it. Let's do it! I think we might be able to have the boss, or the mech, maxed. That would be awesome. Okay, so Wolf, you got the dirtiest full clear of your life, and that somehow looks like you might pull off the win. Good job, man. Nicely done. Yeah, my opponent full cleared me for 20 banners more. He got the win, so tip of the hat to Consigliere. I mean, it was well played. Shout out, though, at the Wolf. We have to do that. And we also have to shout out at Rambam. You know, we have to be there. Let's also be sure to shout out our guest. Of course, we've got to... oh, well, you're not in chat, Solo. So
I should be.
Solobass15. I'll just type it out manually. I think that'll do. There we go. Okay. Oh, crap. I've only got 10 seconds. Upgrade. More of you. Oh, jeez. Okay, well, we'll see what happens, guys. Go, gadget, guys. Oh, God, I'm going to leak all 3 of them. I am completely boned. Okay, good thing we're upgrading the mech, because he gonna need it. He gonna need all of it. Oh, Lord, he gonna need it. All these bosses are super difficult, so the fact that we have, like, 9 of them coming. Alright, let's see what our ally can do. He's doing the best he can, but I think... Yeah, I think end of the line there, friends. Even though we have him almost maxed, it's still not enough to hold off all this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's your crash course. But, yeah, you see we've got Wolf and Rambam both wanting to play. I'm telling you, man, I'm building a cult for this, so pop in. Are you on my Discord?
I thought so. I don't know.
I know you're on. I'm sure you're on a ton, so that's why I ask. By the way, guys, I'm gonna plug for my Discord right now. Feel free to keep up with me there for all of my GAC shenanigans. I post links to my videos from there. Have a lot of good GAC and modding discussion. Everything that you would expect from a well-maintained Discord community. Okay, Wolf, you got to do some TW attacks and get some food. I should probably check with my guild about what they want me to do right now. That's probably a fair call, Wolf.
Well, Wolf should go do some TW attacks. I completely agree, Wolf.
Yeah, don't get in trouble on my account, for sure. Simran and Laz, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you, man. Well, first, I want to thank you, Solo, for joining us. It's been a good talk. My wife actually did a good job, better job than I did of throwing hardballs at you. But
the wife is MVP of the stream.
She always is, man. She makes the world go round here. But good insight on a couple topics. I enjoyed talking about the ships and a couple of those squads in particular. So it was really good having you, and I hope you enjoyed yourself, man.
I did. Thank you for having me. It was great to find a new game to play, so I'm excited about that as well.
I'm going to get you into this and TFT. We're going to bring you fully into the cult, man. It's coming. You know it.
If only I could play longer.
No worries, man. We all have to balance it out, I've got a toddler that I need to go play with after this and catch up with. But anything you want to plug for, anything you want to mention before I get us wrapped up and rated out?
No, just in general. Guys, I'm in two places. There's me at Solobass15, and then we have Gambit Podcast that runs on Mondays and Fight Night on Fridays. So
go check them out, guys.
Yeah.
These two guys are playing at the forefront of the strategy of Kyber 1. So if you're an endgame player, you've got most and or all the toys, this is a great way to learn about making the best Swiss Army knife out of your roster that you can. Go check these guys out, guys. Well worth your time. All right. His Tassinix's alt is in your guild. That's funny, Wolf. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense now. It's personal this time. All right, let me plug. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. No, go on.
Well, I was going to plug for the Patreon here real quick, guys. Check. Let me. Goddamn, I got to flip the screen back over first. All right, so support the stream. Check out patreon.com/Tassinix. I have my own point of view on the game, and I think I've got something to teach people. But what I've really done a good job of over the last couple of years is finding all of my betters in this game and setting up a little pop-up tent right in their ass to learn everything that makes them good at what they do. So I've got a great aggregation of knowledge to offer if you're so inclined. Come and check me out. Next is the merch. We've got merch for the subscribers, t-shirt, mug, and hoodie. These are actually really good items. They hold up to multiple washes for the clothing items. And the mug, the decal's actually part of the mug, not some crap stuck on the side. It's not bad. Patrons, I need to actually update this because I have a couple other supporters who contribute through non-Patreon means, but I do want to acknowledge them. Quickly, Dagger, of course, my partner in crime for a lot of things on my server, but appreciate you, man. And Yoda Force gives out a ton of subs. He actually bought my mic here for me a couple weeks back, so really want to shout out Yoda Force. He's always great. He's also the guild leader of Shadowlands Vanguard, so got to kiss the boss's ass once in a while. You know how it is. But shout out to the patrons now. VIP access, Trevor Boy Gaming, Ryan, White Wolf, Sam Vimes, Elite Wolf, and actually, I just had a couple new patrons here the other day. I want to make sure I cover them and I don't miss them. We've got Deadpool Kyle. I've got to cover you here, man. And Not Sure, 4256. Man, you're all over the place on all streams, so really appreciate your support. I see you active on my Discord all the time. Great to have you, man. At Jester's Club level, the one, the only Absolution. You've come back to the game, and you're off to a good start so far this season. So, good for you, man. I think you've been surprised with what your roster's capable of because you took a break for a month or two. But, mods age well, man. If you've got the goods, you got the goods. Jester's Club Platinum, Eric Rose, the one, the only. My best coaching client, love working with you, spend a lot of hours with you. And good job on your round last night, man. You keep on moving on up, so good stuff. All right, we'll come back over to the main scene, and let's see who to rage all on out to. Twitch.tv. Who's there?
Gami Boy is out there.
Oh, yeah, we got Gom out there, man. We got to send you all to see Gom. That's what's up. He's just getting set up, too, so the timing is perfect, guys. Couldn't be better. All right, well, once again, Solo, thanks again so much for making the time. I've been really looking forward to having you and Zareth come on, so hopefully I can pin down Zareth in one of these future weeks. Real pleasure. And again, thank you so much to you and Zareth both for having me on again last night. It was real fun to reconnect again. It's been a while, and yeah, I couldn't do it like every week because oh my god, man, the hours you guys put in so late. But I love being a guest. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're glad to have you, and I'm not joking when I say I take a nap every Friday. Every Friday night, I stop my alt stream at like 10:30, right into Heinze, and I feel bad. I never watch Heinze because I end up taking a nap so we can do our stream.
I believe it. The last time we did it, I actually did take a nap, but just the stars didn't align for me this time.
Yeah.
So, here we are. All right, well, thanks, everybody. We'll catch you here tomorrow night at 8 p.m. For my stream of Week 1, Round 3. So I'm 1-1 so far on the week. So I'm not, the championship round of the week, but we'll see what shakes up. We have big accounts in my bracket this week. Regardless, it's going to be a good fight. But definitely be tuned into my Discord if you want to keep up. Let me start up the raid, and yeah, we'll see you guys here soon. Thanks for watching. Take care.